Hey there, welcome. My name is Jessica Buchanan, and I'm a New York Times bestselling author, professional speaker, and founder of Soul Speak Press, a non traditional publishing company created for women who've been through something, now they know something, and they can teach us something. In Her Words is a podcast designed to support aspiring memoir authors on their writing and publishing journey. It's hard work, this writing and publishing stuff, and I want to empower you with encouragement and information so you can keep sharing your truth. So grab your coffee, your notebook, find a quiet space, and let's dive in. Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of In Her Words. I have to apologize. We've been replaying some already curated content over the last couple of weeks because I have been sicker than a poor little dog. I got hit with the flu. My kids got hit with the flu, and I'm telling you what, I haven't had it in a couple of years, and it is no joke. It has really taken a toll on me while I'm back among the living and wearing clothes with actual zippers. I'm still just like not 100%. So thank you for your patience and thank you for continuing to listen. And also, I just ask for your grace in case I start coughing. I will pause or silence it. But I am sucking on a cough drop here to try to keep things from getting out of control. As someone who makes their living as a professional speaker, getting a chronic cough like this is like one of my worst nightmares. So I've had some really unpleasant experiences a couple of years ago. We came back from Sweden. If you know me or follow me, we spend like a month or a little more in Sweden every year. My husband's from Sweden, so we spend most of the summer there, so my kids can be with their grandparents, and and it's lovely for the most part. But I got COVID and pneumonia on our way home, and I unfortunately had two like back-to-back speaking events that like were contracted, had already been paid. There was no way I could get out of them. I'm telling you what, you guys, that was just it was I got through it, but man, it was tough. So anyway, all that to say, I'm here, I'm upright, I'm doing my best. So that's not what I got on here to talk about and what I want to share with you this week. What I want to talk to you about this week is our newest offering here at Soul Speak Press that we have just launched called The Power Within. It is a new book series that we have been working really hard on. Lauren and I have been working on curating and creating an alternative to the anthology experiences, mainly because while we've been able to bring the price down from like writing your own memoir manifesto with these anthology experiences, it's still is still a good chunk of change, in terms of investment, even though we let you break the payments up over the course of a year. Um, things are things are hard right now in the world. And there's lots going on with people's jobs and financial instability. And we, like everybody else, have to keep a roof over our families' heads and put food on the table. And, our time and expertise is worth paying for. And, I've talked a lot about how we're a non-traditional publishing house. And so we charge an investment for services rendered here. We felt very passionate about the fact that we wanted to create something that was more accessible in terms of the investment for the woman who really wants to become a published author, who could use some support and some continued coaching and training on the memoir writing process and the marketing and the book launching, and has, been submitting perhaps excuse me, they've been submitting essays or excerpts to magazines with no luck. I think Substack is a great way to continue sharing your work, but it functions most like a blog, and it's hard to is hard to build. It takes a long time to build a platform and a readership on platforms like that. And not that people are having great success and I highly recommend it. I'm not on Substack just because I simply don't have time, but a lot of our writers are, so I would highly recommend that. But if you're looking for another avenue and you want to be a part of a actual book that you hold in your hands, we created The Power Within in this In Her Words collection. It's different than the anthology series, and I wanted to outline how we soft launched it with several groups of authors that are already connected and have already published with Soul Speak Press, just to get their opinion and feedback on it. And the number one thing we heard was, well, how is this different than Deserts to Mountaintops from the anthology series? So I thought, well, that's a great question. Let me tell you how it's different and how it's the same. So, in her words, we're defining it as a collection instead of an anthology, mainly to differentiate them. But they do really have, they're two different approaches to the memoir writing process. In her words, the first volume is The Power Within. We're looking for stories of resilience and overcoming. It's always going to be a theme here at Soul Speak Press. Those are the stories that we really are looking for to publish. And The Power Within is largely self-paced. There's a timeline, but timelines in publishing are always fluid. And what it comes with is pre-recorded videos. I believe the memoir writing portion is 9 modules. It's hours of coaching from me, and it's covers everything that I know about memoir writing and that I've experienced. The first couple of modules are really about like the heart-centered part, like the intention focus of why you want to write and why people write memoir in the first place. And then the second half is very mechanics oriented and very much content driven in terms of like what makes good memoir writing, and plot lines and tone and voice and show me, don't tell me, all those kinds of facets. And so it's 9 modules. What happens is you get the link. We send out an email today. We'll send out another email probably this week with the link for this podcast episode. And you just click on the link to get more information. There's a landing page on our website that gives you more information about the project. And then you can submit a submission form. And then once we've looked through the submission, and if we decided that we feel like your story would be a good representation for the project, you'll receive an email with directions, and everything is really just self-explanatory and it's very independent. So once you sign up and you figure out your payment plan, you get immediate access to the memoir writing courses, and there's marketing courses that Lauren teaches. We've got templates, we've got outlines, there's like so much information. There's like PDFs, memoir writing prompts, like you name it. Like this is just like a very robust um uh, self-paced program. Now, what it doesn't include, that the anthology includes, of course, is the one-on-one coaching sessions with me, and then the live group coaching sessions. But all of the group coaching sessions that we include in the anthology in Deserts to Mountaintops experience, we've pre-recorded them, and you have access to all of that information, which is pretty awesome. So say you are an author that has written for Deserts to Mountaintops before, and you want another avenue in order to write and be published again. Um, excuse me. Um, then this would be like refresher work for you. But I mean, I could watch these memoir writing workshop videos 20 times and still learn something new. So they don't include the live aspect and the live coaching. They also don't include the trailer or the live launch at the end, or the audiobook. We are going to do an audiobook for this particular project, but we're working on some different approaches. I'll tell you what, the audiobook for the Deserts to Mountaintops anthologies is really, really hard. It's like herding cats. It has, I mean, we're still not done with the Pilgrimage of Motherhood one, and we had it all timed out to come out to be released on the date of publication, and it still didn't work. So we're looking for ways to make things faster and simpler and just less cumbersome. So we are planning on releasing an audiobook for that, but it won't be read by each author. So basically what you're doing is you're self-pacing your writing. You've got check-ins, you're a part of a Facebook group, so there's a community for you to be a part of and to talk through like your writing challenges and to get to know people. So there still is that community experience. Lauren and I will pop in from time to time, so we'll still get to connect with you. I do believe we're going to do a virtual launch on the launch date. And we're hoping that we can launch in October sometime with this book. Now, the things that this does include, of course, are the coaching that's pre-recorded, the access to the Facebook group that I just told you about, and then that community aspect. And then we do make it accessible to you to purchase wholesale copies of the book. So you can purchase the physical copies of the book at a wholesale rate, and then you can go out and sell those if you want, or you can just hand them out to your friends. You can kind of think of this as like a really new, updated, hipper version of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Do you remember those? I'm really dating myself. If you're like not a Gen Xer, you probably don't remember. But that's our hope, is that we can continue to put out a themed book and make it approachable and accessible to the woman who has a story to tell, but doesn't have like thousands of dollars to invest and maybe doesn't have the time or even really want to invest all of that time and effort into the in-person launch and the in-person film, the trail recording and all of that. So this is like kind of like the introvert's dream, right? If you also like want to just write and you want to get your work out there and you want to get published, and it's like kind of low, it's low cost, it's low risk, I think, in a way too. I think that, and maybe this, even if you've like, been listening to me for a while or been watching me on social media, and you think, okay, well, this could be like a first foray into working with Soul Speak Press, you're absolutely right. This could be a really good way for you to get your toes wet and see how it feels to write about something that you've been through and what you know now, and then what it feels like to work with us. We're here to answer any questions. I know that the email, if you've been selected to participate, will give you an option to meet with me for 15 minutes so I can answer any questions. The main question probably is, well, great, this all sounds awesome. How much does it cost? Great question. I believe we've priced it just under $2,000, and you can split the payments up for an entire year. So that brings your cost down to like $160 a month. It was very important for us to get the payments down to under $200 a month. If you think about, I'm not an accountant, but if you think of, if your budget's tight, but this is really speaking to you, what I do is I like take something away. I take my weekly Starbucks or my TJ Maxx shopping trips out for a little while, so that I can like do the thing that I want to do. Perhaps there's a little wiggle room in your budget to become a published author. Now, while we can't guarantee that this is going to become a bestseller, we've never not had a bestseller on Amazon from Soul Speak Press, so I don't anticipate that happening anytime soon. And we're just going to promote the heck out of this thing. So think about, the average book sells about 200 copies in its lifetime. That's so low. But it's hard to sell books. And our average copy of one of our anthologies sells thousands in the first month.
So if you want your story to get out into a wider audience, you want to connect, you want to help that one person, if not more, this would be a really great way for you to do it. It would be low risk, high impact, high reward, and you're going to learn a lot. You're going to feel very empowered. It's going to be very cathartic to move through the writing process. And here's the thing, like there are a lot of memoir writing courses out there. Perhaps they're better even, I'm sure, but no one is going to publish you at the end of it. I mean, that is what makes us different. That is what we have figured out differentiates us from all of the other programs out there. We are not self-publishing. We are not traditional. We land somewhere in the middle, that non-traditional, but thousands of people will read your story, and they will get the best version of your story because you have been coached by a New York Times bestselling author. How cool is that? We think it's pretty cool, obviously, because we've spent a lot of time developing this and dumping everything we know into it. So if you're interested and you're curious, go to Soul Speak Press and look up In Her Words, The Power Within. Get on our mailing list because we send out emails every week with new announcements of the things that we're doing or the projects that we're taking submissions for. Or you can connect with me over Instagram, Jessica C. Buchanan or Soul Speak Press, and we'll send you the link for the submission form. I would really encourage you to reach out if you want to spend 15 minutes chatting with me with your questions or just talking through the logistics and the particulars. I'm here to explain it to you. We'd really love for you to be a part of this community and be a part of this next collection that Soul Speak Press is putting out. So, if you've been through something, now you know something, and you want to teach us something about how we can access our own power within, this would be the project for you. So reach out and hit us up, hello at Soul Speak Press, or on Instagram, Soul Speak Press, Jessica C. Buchanan, and we'd love to talk with you. Um, at the end of the day, all that matters is that you keep writing, and I hope that at some point I get to read your story.
In Her Words is hosted by me, Jessica Buchanan, and is produced by Soul Speak Press, a non-traditional publishing house for women who are ready to tell their story. If you would like to know more about our submission process, I encourage you to check us out at www.soulspeakpress.com or follow us over on Instagram at Soul Speak Press. We appreciate all your questions, and if you would like to leave us a review, we would be so grateful.